The Halo games start right in the middle of a war between the Covenant Empire and humanity's UNSC. Bits and pieces of the war's history are given to us throughout the games, but we don't ever learn of the beginning of it. The book Contact Harvest explains exactly that. And today I will be going through the events that led to humanity's first encounter with the Covenant. But before we get into that, let's lay out the world of the Halo universe before the Human Covenant War. In the 2500s, the UEG, or United Earth Government, was fighting a bloody civil war with various rebel groups across the outer colonies. Although separated in space, these groups were united in their distrust of the Central Earth government. Years of mistreatment and exploitation drove large portions of these planets' populations to seek independence. These insurrectionists were not unfounded in their beliefs. The outer colonies were often exploited for their resources for Earth's benefit. So for many living on these planets, self-governance seemed to be the answer. As the anti-UEG sentiment grew, insurrectionist groups would target UNSC infrastructure and supply lines to disrupt their military rule. UNSC in turn responded with equally devastating raids on any organization or person deemed a rebel. The conflict became so severe that ONI reignited the Orion program. This would lead to the creation of the Spartan IIs. In 2525, when numerous cargo ships go missing over the human colony of Harvest, the UEG suspects an insurrectionist plot to cut the planet off from the rest of human space. Harvest served as an agricultural world for the UEG, supplying them with billions of tons of food. If the insurrectionists were able to get a foothold here, it would spell disaster for the UNSC's war effort. To defend the planet, ONI would recruit Sergeant Avery Johnson and Sergeant Byrne, fresh off of Operation Trebuchet, to raise a local militia on the planet under the oversight of one Captain Ponder. The ONI liaison, Lieutenant Commander Jelaine Alsigny, was also sent to Harvest to evaluate the threat of the insurrectionists and prepare necessary counterattacks. A month prior, the Covenant ship Minor Transgression is patrolling the fringes of Covenant space. The Kigyar in control of the ship were basically space pirates under the banner of the Covenant. When they found an alien vessel drifting in space, they boarded it and raided the fresh produce they found. The Jackals were also able to extract information on the ship's planet of origin. The ship's luminary, a device that identifies Forerunner artifacts, had detected an artifact on another of these alien ships. In hopes to capture this relic and sell it on the Covenant black market, the ship mistress makes the decision to not inform the Covenant of her findings. She raids the next ship, but finds no relic aboard. Instead, the grunt deacon Dadab and his engineer friend, Lighter Than Some, are attacked by an alien, and narrowly survive the encounter with minor injuries. The human aboard this ship would be the first casualty of the war. The engineer who killed him did it only in defense of his grunt friend. Despite not finding one on the ship, the Kigyar are persistent in their search of these relics. Lieutenant Commander Alsigny, trying to catch what ONI believes are insurrectionists, springs a trap. The cargo ship Bulk Discount is left seemingly helpless in space, with Sergeant Avery Johnson and Sergeant Byrne hidden inside the ship. Alsigny, aboard her stealth ship, the Walk of Shame, has an Archer missile at the ready if the insurrectionists try to flee. But instead of rebels, an unknown vessel would approach. The ship didn't seem like a human vessel. After Bulk Discount had been blasted with lasers, 3 silhouettes enter the freighter. Johnson and Byrne are both surprised to see 3 tall, lizard-like aliens scanning the ship's cargo. Johnson lines up a shot on the one in the middle and awaits his orders from Alsigny. She gives him the clear light to fire, and Johnson's battle rifle cracks out a 3-round burst. 2 of the Jackals rush the sergeants with energy cutlasses in hand as the 3rd flees. Byrne is stabbed in the leg with a cutlass, but his suit fitted with biofoam quickly seals the otherwise fatal gap. He is then able to dispatch his opponent. The other Jackal swings at Johnson, which Johnson blocks with his battle rifle. In the confusion, the sergeant quickly unholsters his M7 pistol, firing 3 rounds into his attacker. Having survived this initial assault, Johnson pursues the last alien as Sergeant Byrne, with his injury, stays with the freighter. Johnson follows the creature through strange alien hallways. Eventually finds the shipmistress, but before he can fire on her, she initiates the self-destruction of the ship. Johnson and Byrne are barely able to escape the resulting explosion. The only Covenant survivors of the minor transgression are Dadab and Lighter Than Some. After returning to Harvest, Johnson, Alsigny, and the governor of the planet all discuss what to do next. They had encountered an unknown alien species and one that seemed to have technological capabilities at least on par with their own. Alsigny sends her ship to the military planet Reach with a message requesting a naval battle group to defend the planet. This battle group would take at least 3 months to arrive, time which Harvest simply did not have. Given their advanced technology, a signal from the alien ship could have gone unnoticed by the Walk of Shame's observational tools. With this knowledge in mind, Johnson continues his training of Harvest local militia in hopes that they are able to hold out on the planet long enough for the UNSC military to arrive. The Grunt Deacon Dadab and Lighter Than Some, aboard their escape pod, would stumble upon a friendly Covenant ship. This ship was known as the Rapid Conversion, a brute ship under the command of their chieftain Maccabeus. Also aboard this ship is a young Tartarus and nephew to Maccabeus. Dadab and Lighter Than Some tell of their finding of Forerunner relics in this alien planet. After contacting their Covenant superiors, the Rapid Conversion makes its way towards Harvest to search for these relics. The Rapid Conversion reaches Harvest and confirms with its luminary the presence of many Forerunner artifacts. The ship receives a message of peace from one of the human AIs. A crude pictogram showing Kigyar and humans in peace. Of course, the humans had no idea that what they were dealing with was more than just one alien species, but a collection of many. Taking 2 dropships, Maccabeus and Tartarus, alongside a battalion of grunts, arrive at the coordinates for this meeting. Maccabeus has no intention of a treaty with these aliens. He only comes to proclaim his right to take the planet's many Forerunner relics for the Covenant. Harvest militiamen are stationed in line awaiting the aliens' arrival. Once they come out of their spirit dropships, a group of grunts are left to stand guard in front of the militiamen as Maccabeus and Tartarus follow the humans up a spiral staircase towards a group of humans waiting for them. Johnson, Byrne, Captain Ponner, Alsigny, Governor of Harvest, and other local officials are waiting. The humans were taken aback by the sheer size of the creatures before them, as well as their stark contrast with the aliens they had encountered earlier on bulk discount. The 2 groups would attempt to communicate, with the brutes giving the governor a metal sheet etched with alien symbols, a human holding a sphere, and a brute. Initially, the governor interprets the sphere as a melon, extrapolating that they wanted to open trade with the humans. However, Alsigny quickly recognized the texture on the sphere was actually maglev lines, roads, and outlines of major settlements. It was a detailed map of Harvest. The aliens were not interested in trade, they wanted the whole planet for themselves. Then suddenly, a short burst from an MA5 echoed out. Instantly, the brutes became hostile, shooting one of the government officials with their spikers, while Maccabeus slammed his fist of Rook into Commander Ponder. A short firefight ensues with the militiamen and Covenant forces. The militiamen, despite hitting their target, don't seem to have any effect on their opponent. They soon discover these aliens have advanced shielding technology, protecting them from getting hit. The brutes retreat to their dropships and flee as the humans begin to regroup. It's learned that one of the grunts erratically attacked the militiamen, causing the firefight. After Maccabeus reaches the Rapid Conversion, he sends its dropships across Harvest to wreak havoc and locate any relics they can find. Maccabeus, although having glassing technology, refuses to use it on the planet, in hopes of recovering these relics. But whenever they seem close to these artifacts, they slip from their grasp. Maccabeus believes the humans are hiding them and transporting them towards the capital of the planet. In truth, the luminary which was detecting these artifacts was actually registering reclaimers, not relics. Basically, every human was marked as a reclaimer, which Maccabeus was reading as relic. This meant that the brutes would keep assaulting large human population centers in search of their prize. Johnson and his militia tried their best to shuttle as many civilians as possible to the capital city of Utgard, where the Tiara space station lies. Here, ships capable of slipspace travel await them. Meanwhile, one of the AIs in control of Harvest Agricultural Systems, MAC, is able to use the Juton farming equipment to crash into one of the alien dropships. Tartarus, aboard this ship, had to watch his comrade burn in the ensuing fire. Soon, Tartarus would begin to resent Maccabeus for his decision to not simply glass the planet. For the time, the humans are able to evacuate many civilians and are looking like they can escape their doom. But the humans know that the alien ship in orbit would prevent the freighters from escaping Harvest. So after the human AI, Mac, communicates with Lighter Than Some, the humans are able to trick the Covenant's luminary into detecting an oracle at a location of their choice. Lighter Than Some, feeling guilt from killing one of the aliens, desperately wants to end the fighting. This plot tricks Maccabeus into moving the rapid conversion to this location and sending Tartarus and his brutes to find this holy relic. What they find instead is an injured Captain Ponder sitting in wait for them. His injuries from Maccabeus earlier would kill him eventually, so he sacrifices his life for this final trap. Once the rapid conversion is within range, a mass driver fires 2 shots, punching a hole straight through the ship. Enraged by this, Tartarus kills Captain Ponder with his spiker rifle's bayonet, ensuring that his death is long and painful. The rapid conversion crashes with limited survivors. One of these survivors is Maccabeus. When Tartarus reaches the wreckage, he challenges his uncle's authority for leadership of the brutes. The two battle to the death to decide which of them is worthy of the title of chieftain. Eventually, Tartarus comes out on top and becomes the new chieftain of the brutes. Now, both Harvest Militia and the Covenant forces begin converging upon the Tiara space station. Tartarus in command of his brutes, and Johnson in command of the militia. Fighting ensues as Johnson and his men try to hold off their foe to allow the civilians time to make it to the freighters. Also aboard the Tiara, the Dab stumbles upon the dead body of his engineer friend, Lighter Than Some. The drones aboard the rapid conversion took revenge against the Huragok for taking their position as the engineers of the ship. The Dab goes into a rage, killing every single one of the drones, ripping them apart with his plasma pistol. Wanting to fulfill his dead friend's wish of peace with the humans, the Dab charges his plasma pistol and approaches Tartarus. Johnson and his men are at the end of their ammunition and out of time. Before they can retreat, Tartarus rushes their position, and just before he's about to kill Sergeant Johnson, he suddenly feels the sting of plasma from behind him. His shields were cracked. He looks back to see the Dab with a plasma pistol in hand. The human he was about to kill escapes and returns fire. Tartarus walks towards the Dab and slams his hammer against the traitorous grunt. This scuffle allows Johnson and the surviving militiamen to make it aboard a freighter and escape the planet. Just as they leave, the mass driver is remotely activated by the AI Loki, destroying the Tiara space station, giving the Covenant nothing to find other human worlds. Aboard their freighters, Johnson and Byrne offer all the militiamen a position among the UNSC, allowing them to take revenge on the aliens who had forced them from their home. With this, the first meeting and conflict of the Human Covenant War was complete. The true war was just getting started. Humanity had only encountered a mere scout ship. Nothing that would demonstrate the true might and technological superiority of the Covenant. Soon, a UNSC battle group would arrive at Harvest and begin a 5-year-long campaign to regain the planet. If you want to learn more about the events following the first UNSC battle group's arrival, check out Halo Wars 1 as it details the story. If you like this video and want to see more content like this regarding Halo lore and the Halo books, please let me know down in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching.